Welcome back to Self-Built. In this video, I'm going to be showing you one of the first exercises you should do in your back workout if you're really wanting to focus on isolating those lats, warming them up, getting them a great pump, and that muscle-mind connection right from the get-go. So stay tuned. The exercise that I'm talking about are pullovers. Now what a pullover is basically you keep your arms, they don't have to be fully straight, but you can have them out. And what you're doing is you're pulling them to your body, which is one of the main functions that your lat does, is it pulls things down. This is an excellent exercise because it's mostly isolating just the lats. It takes a lot of the shoulders and the arms out of the work. And you run into that issue quite often when you're training a larger muscle. The smaller surrounding muscles will fatigue before the big ones really start to feel it and get tired. And what this is called, it's an intensity training technique called pre-exhaustion. And what this will do is, for your first exercise, what you're going to do is be focusing on just the lats. You'll still have fresh arms, fresh shoulders for when you're doing rows, pull downs, pull-ups, anything that you can use that's a multi-joint exercise. It'll really help you get that pump right from the get-go. It'll really help you reach that true failure point on your lats or just bigger muscles in general if you're using this training technique. And it also forces you to use lighter weights because you're already pre-exhausting your muscle to where it's already tired before you're doing the exercises you're normally used to doing. So it is a little bit of a humbling experience too. I just finished doing this in my back workout, and you're not able to do the normal amount that you're able to do, but we're not here for weight, we're here for growth, right? There's a lot of different ways to do a pullover, different grips, different handles. The one that I'm playing with right now that I'm very much enjoying is just using some ab straps. And then I've got my cable here. I've got two different chains, and all I do is just wrap it around it. With having longer chains like this, you have the freedom to not being confined to just one pattern of movement. You can bring your elbows out, just really feel it out and feel what feels best for your muscles and to really get the best squeeze for your back. I'll show you what it looks like. Once you've got this set up, there's a couple different ways to do it. Now you can use your traditional bars or whatever you want to do. As long as you're doing this movement, this is the pullover. But what I like to do is I always like to experiment, try new grips, see how they feel, if they feel different, if they feel more effective or whatnot. And with these, I'm just able to I don't put my arms fully in like this. I'll just basically have my hands poking out, and then I'll just go straight down just like this. And it just helps focus on just doing the lats, not squeezing, not anything, just keeping my mind solely on my back. And you might not be able to see it too well from this angle, but you can bring your arms out. So for example, if you're going out like this, I'm feeling a huge squeeze and my lats are starting to cramp up with it, my arms being so far back and they're being so far out. You just want to feel it in your back. You don't want to use momentum. You don't want to be throwing the weight around. You want it to be slow. You want it to be controlled because we're trying to train the back. We're not trying to build how much weight you can throw around. And what I like to do is as I'm going from the top towards the bottom, I'll raise my lower back up just a little bit because you feel a little extra squeeze as you get to the very bottom of this motion, and it just changes it up quite a bit. But you can really feel it. Here's a better angle for you so you can see what I'm really doing. So I've got all this range of motion. So typically I'll stay close, and then as I start to get closer to my body, I'll start to fan out and bring my hands further apart. And I just feel my whole back light up with activation. It is a really good exercise. You could do this with like a rope, just something that gives you a lot of motion like this. But if you haven't tried something like that, you are missing out. Now you can of course use handles. You can use like a V-bar, which is more common, or you can use a straight bar, whatever you have available. But if you do happen to have some ab straps or something that you can do that, it really feels good. I hope you guys give that a try. It's definitely a good one to start. A lot of people use that as a finisher, which is fine as a finisher, but if you want to change things up, try it in the beginning instead of the end. And a couple tips for you is to remember to lead with the elbows. Don't be pulling it with your arms or anything like that. And that's with any back exercise. Basically pretend your hands are hooks and just lead with the elbows. That is what will really help you activate your lats, get the most contraction out of them. And then also you want to focus on whatever motion you're doing, whether you're doing rows, pull downs, or if you're doing the pullovers. Make sure you really squeeze at the bottom of that range of motion, and it'll really help. And if you like the video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. You can find some cool self-built merch. You can also see me on the talk or the gram in the description below. And we'll see you next time on Self Built.